we are going to do, we're going to do a little mid-season report card, coast-to-coast edition. We're going to start in Boston. The Celtics, they beat Wembanyama's Spurs. Boston is now 20-0 at home this season. Austin, your mid-season grade for the Celtics, sir?
I'm giving them an A+. We're talking about 20-0 at home. This is the best team in the Eastern Conference. They've proven that. They seem like last year, if anything, their playoff appearance and how they played motivated them.
A+?
I have them, A+. 20-0 at home is impressive.
A+ in January is fantastic. I'm sure Jason Tatum is more looking forward to what his report card is going to be in the postseason, though. From Boston to Cleveland, where the Cavs dismantled the Giannis-less Bucks by 40. Perk, the Bucks currently 28-13. What's your letter grade for Milwaukee so far?
They're getting a B-. A B-, and I'm being nice about that. And now, look, I understand you have Giannis and you have Dame, but my boy Chris Middleton, and I hate to say it, he just don't look the same right now. He looks old, and they're struggling guarding on the perimeter. I don't know if Malik Beasley and those guys can get it done. I know Jay Crowder's coming back, but as of right now, I'm giving them a B-.
Well, they're allowing more than 120 points per game this season. That's 24th in the NBA and on pace to be the worst in franchise history. But let's stick in the East here. Jalen Brunson returned last night for the Knicks, had 30 points en route to beating the Rockets at home. Randall also had 31 in the win. Now they sit at 24-17. Richard, time to grade the Knicks.
First of all, I'm going to grade Perk's picture first. That's an F-. And then the Knicks, I'm going to give them an A-. And this is why. They added the right piece. They're playing well. They got off to a really slow start shooting-wise. Brunson struggled shooting. Randall struggled shooting. But they figured it out. They're playing good basketball. And they look, in my opinion, like they are one piece away from a conference final quality team. They are a very good team, but I don't know if they're quite there yet.
Well, what about the Heat? They got blown out by the Raptors, 121-97. We know Miami turns up the Heat during the playoffs, but they are currently 24-17. Professor Zach, what grade are you giving them?
The Heat are cruising along with a nice, quiet B+. They're like Jaws. Dun-dun, dun-dun. And they're just lurking under the surface. 24-17. They got a lot of stuff they might trade. 24-17. Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and Bam have played 10 games together the whole season. Butler and Bam, their two best players, have played only 17 of 41, and they're still 7 over 500. Tough as hell. Never sleep on the Miami Heat. B+.
B+, all right.
That's
well, this is where the East standings are right now. Boston, 4 games clear of everyone else, and the Bucks and the 76ers are in pursuit. And then after that, things get pretty, as Stephen A. would say, things are fluid. The Cavs, the Heat, the Knicks, the Pacers, they're all separated by a game and a half. So let's stick in the East here, specifically with the reigning conference champions, the Miami Heat. Even Spo, he told reporters, referring to where Miami is in the standings, he said, buckle up, right? He said, we are not hiding from anybody. So, Perk, do you think history is going to repeat itself?
I don't. And I got so much respect for them goons from Dade County and Eric Spoelstra and what he brings to the table. But I just can't put them ahead of the Celtics in a 7-game series. I feel like the Celtics would get their lick back. I feel like Philly is better than them if they happen to match up in the 7-game series currently constructed. Just those two teams alone, I got to say that they're not going to represent the East in the
So the two teams that they beat last year, you don't think that they are in the same class as them this year?
No, those two teams got better.
Oh, okay. All right,
That's why I just said, they got better.
Look, the Miami Heat, when we talk about the Heat culture and all that, that means when they get into the fire, the way they play, the intensity that they play with, there's very few franchises that can match that. So, yes, I do believe the Boston Celtics are better than they were last year. Yep. I think Philly is better, but I still wouldn't put Philly over Miami. Why? Mainly because I've seen Jimmy Butler show up in the highest of high playoff moments. He has played the best basketball maybe on the planet during stretches. I can't say the same thing about the best player for Philly, not currently right now. So if you put Miami and Philly in a playoff series in the second round, I'm not putting my money on Philly. I'm not putting my money on them. So are they opposed for another playoff run? The answer is yes.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, thanks.
As long as you have Bam, Spo, and Jimmy, and then they have surround shooting with, you talk about, they got better. I know they lost Strus. Josh Richardson's just as good. They lost Gabe Vincent, but now they got a rookie, Jaime Jaquez, who's better.
He's nice. On both ends.
They still have Caleb Martin. They got all their key pieces, man. You still don't want to see them in a playoff series.
But see, here's the messed up part. The question is, are the Heat posed to make another playoff run this season? Malika asked me, will history repeat itself? I said no. That means I don't have the Heat going back to the NBA Finals. I didn't say they wasn't going to go make a playoff run.
Okay. It is very unlikely the Heat will go back to the NBA Finals. That's fine and accurate. They're going to be underdogs against the top 3 teams in the East. Yeah. But can they do it?
Yeah.
Absolutely they can do it. This is the Miami Heat. Philly, they beat them in the playoffs recently. Milwaukee starts to quiver when they see the mere sight of the Miami Heat. Boston, we saw what happened last year. These guys are deep. And if they get healthy, they're deeper than they were last year, and they have stuff to trade. And I think they're going to look around and see, can we get one more ball handler, one more offensive threat in here to fortify us? Because offense is their weaker half of their team, and I think they could use a boost. But look, I'm not going to pick them. But they could beat all those teams, even Boston. And I think Boston's the best team in the league. And in the East, for sure.
And they don't care if we don't pick them. That's the thing. That's what fuels the Heat fire.
Well, my thing about Miami and what's been frustrating, really kind of since the bubble, is that it feels like they're one player away. And they've been trying. They've been in conversations with a lot of different players. You've seen names in kind of
Dame Lillard, most famously.
They seem like they're one player away. Jimmy Butler, he's very close to being a 1A. I think he needs to have another 1A right next to him or somebody better than him. If they do that, that's a team that could win 2 out of the next 4 championships because they have young talent, they have great pieces around them. But it's like they can beat everybody, but can they do it for a sustained run all the way through the NBA Finals? And the answer is
I think they have shown us time and time again that they don't care about actually going out there and getting a Dame Lillard, because if they did, they would have got him, right? They would have gave up the necessary pieces. I think the Heat always show us that they're not scared to bet on themselves, right? Like you're asking for another 1A. In their eyes, they're saying Bam is our other 1A. Like we think he can elevate. We watch him get better every season.
Yeah.
Like that's how they go about it. And you got to respect it.
So Zach, how far can the Lakers go with this kind of continuity?
I mean, they can get back in the playoff race for sure. And you saw last night they're dangerous. And what I like about this lineup is they have 2 playmakers with LeBron, Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, which gives 2 guys who can screen for him, get mismatches when they're switching. And when the Lakers are at their best, when they can alternate, when they can push the pace, and when they can't push the pace, when they can beat you up and hunt mismatches and play calculated, predatory offense. And they hit that gear last night. The question, though, is with Reeves and Russell, can they hold up well enough defensively? But I like maximizing the number of playmakers next to LeBron and AD, who is playing just awesome basketball.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and they're a better team when D'Lo's consistent. When he adds scoring to this team consistently, it helps them, and it alleviates pressure on LeBron's shoulders. You do this every time I talk about D'Lo. Every time I bring up or say something positive about D'Lo, you guys just
I'm not saying
crazy,
no, but I'm saying
I just think about the time when he was getting off the private with Cat, and it was like, it's time.
I'm saying, if you look at D'Lo's numbers, bro, and how negative people talk about D'Lo, if you look at his numbers, what else do you want him to be doing right now? It's more defensively are the concerns with him and Reeves, right?
I'm not being disrespectful to D'Lo.
His numbers are better than Reeves, aren't they?
But you said this. You said when D'Lo is consistent, what is the biggest issue with D'Lo? His consistency. So
that's fair. That's fair.
You're basically saying when he plays well, when D'Lo plays well, they're good. When they struggle or when he struggles, then they kind of.
No. He's not he's not the X factor. I think he can be at times. Austin Reeves, I think, if we're going to talk about who's like the X factor for this team, when he plays well, they're really on a whole different level.
Okay.
But I think D'Lo can alleviate pressure on Reeves, on LeBron, on AD, because this is a guy who's capable of going for 20, 30 points any night. Yeah.
The bellwethers why we're talking about D'Lo is that he's kind of an all-offense player, and his opposite is Jared Vanderbilt, who's been big coming in for them, guarding ball handlers, hounded point guards. And ideally, you'd find a player who's kind of in between those 2 players, and they haven't been able to find that. So they're just kind of finagling offense here, defense there. And right now, it's working.
The Lakers, how they're approaching the trade deadline, is a question that remains this season. How the Lakers finish the season is a question that remains. While these 2 fight,
I'm glad I'm in the middle.
Zach, what is your biggest question that you want answered in the second half of the season?
So I went micro, I went small scale, and my question was, what exactly are the Phoenix Suns? What is this team going to be? We're halfway through the season.
That's micro? That feels existential.
Well, you could go league-wide. I just went on one team. And I kept hearing when they got Bradley Beal, this is a 2-year window. Year one, we'll see how it works. There's no 2-year window when you have Kevin Durant on your team at age 36 or whatever he is. They got to get back in the championship picture now, and maybe these few wins that they've had lately are started the process of getting there. But like, first of all, get out of the 7 to 10 range, get into the top 6. But that's my question: is this a team that's going to be serious? Are we going to get there with them?
Is it?
I like Phoenix, but I got a different question.
Okay.
My question is, can the Lakers make another run again?
What? Oh my! Come on.
We're back to it.
No.
We talk about them enough. I want to bring you more LA coverage, man.
No.
Can they make another run
listen.
without making a move? Can they do it? Yes, they can. I think they can. This is not a team, bro. The Nuggets. Who else is at the top of these? Or West?
The Nuggets, the Thunder, the OKC.
One of those teams are going to be rewarded with the Lakers first round. That's worst case scenario. I'm telling you, all 3 of those teams do not want to play the Lakers first round.
See, Austin know they need shooting. He know he still got a strap.
Is it personal with me?
No,
maybe.
It's always personal. It's always personal.
Perk, what's your question for the
My
rest
question
of the
is to us.
What?
You know, when we go start shining the light and put some respect on Anthony Edwards' name, we're talking about a guy that could possibly, that really should be the front runner of being the face of the league right after LeBron James. Look, right now, you know what we're watching? The 88-89 version of Michael Jordan. That's what we're seeing out of this young man. Playing both ends of the floor. And guess what? Jimmy Butler couldn't pull the things out of Karl Anthony Towns that Anthony Edwards is doing. Donovan Mitchell couldn't pull the tenacity out of Rudy Gobert like Anthony Edwards is doing. Man, we need more. We need more out of him. We need more from us about him.
What's your face, Rich?
Look, I just don't. I believe in Anthony Edwards. I don't believe in the Minnesota Timberwolves quite yet. I believe in him, but I don't have a big question in the second half of the season.
You
I'm
believe
just
in
gonna
him,
laugh
Zach?
at this.
I believe in Minnesota, but I'll tell you right now, this is a new kind of pressure they're going to face in the playoffs this season,
Absolutely.
being at the top. Let's see how they handle it.